Hi, I'm Real Generic Demon, and this is my 10 favourite games I've discovered while collecting. Okay, so this is my response to Dave Birdsall's of Dave Plays Retro Games Badly Birdsall video of 10 games I discovered while playing or collecting. So I'm actually going with a slight change on the format. I'm also going with systems that I've discovered while retro gaming, and they might surprise you, to be honest with you. I'm also very much a Spectrum man. So we'll start with the first one, and as I say, this is a system that I have only really started collecting since last year, and I really like it. So the first one, from down here, the pile's down there, that's why I keep looking down there, and I'll put footage up the top corner here, is Virtual Fighter. Virtual Fighter on the Sega Saturn. Now, I didn't have Sega Saturn in the day, in 1995, I think it's when they were released in Europe. I went to a friend's house, you know that friend who has all of the games? And all the systems, that's the friend. And I went to his house and I played this briefly, and I forgot all about it, and then got a Sega Saturn from Kieran Bose, actually. Thanks, Kieran. Got a Sega Saturn from Kieran Bose, and this is one of the games that came with it. And do you know something? I really like it. I really like Virtual Fighter. I've forgotten all about it. It's a really, really, really good game. And as I say, hope the footage will be running in the top corner of the screen, because I've just done it myself. Anyway, but Virtual Fighter is the first one on my list. So that kind of ties nicely into the second one on my list, which is Virtual Fighter 2. Now, this is a significant upgrade on the previous version. There's more graphics, there's more backgrounds, there's lots and lots of lovely new touches, and it's a really, 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 really good beat-em-up for the 3D one, and I really enjoyed it. And you've got to remember, this is like in the early 90s, or end of 90s, mid-90s? Yeah, mid-90s, towards the end of the 90s. It was really nice. This is before your PlayStation 1s came along and kind of decimated the poor old Sega offerings. But yeah, that's another great game. I really liked that. Hadn't played it until I got the Sega Saturn, and I really kind of enjoyed that one. I'm really kind of enamoured by the Virtual Fighter. And then I bought a few myself. One of which was Fighting Vipers, and I like this one. I don't think it's a particularly popular game. It's one where you beat up people with armour and whatever else it is, but I just love the bright colours of it and the stupid characters, and it's really good beat 'em up. And as I say, I really enjoyed it, and that's another game that I've come along and gone, oh, I really like that. And I know they're all beat 'em ups so far, or 3D beat 'em ups, but they're really good 3D beat 'em ups, without a doubt. They are really good. I just feel really bad that they're all Sega as well, which is interesting. It's the AM2 company, which is the kind of like their division of I think it's a division of research for Sega, and they're just really good. I really like them. They work really well, and they play really well too. So that's Fighting Vipers. Now, you'll be surprised by this one. This is a surprise because I reviewed recently Virtual Racing. I think it's Virtual Racing for the Switch. Loved it in the arcade. Absolutely fantastic. This I never played in the arcade, and I've got to go Daytona when you actually do it. But I've never played it in the arcade, and it's brilliant. It's really good, and I didn't realise. Again, another AM2 one, to be honest with you. It seems that most of the best ones for the Saturn were from AM2, but yeah, I'm complete surprise, and I'm completely delighted that this is there, because that's a cracking game. I can't quite believe I didn't play it back in the day. So I didn't even play the arcade version. Never even saw it on the arcade. Brilliant game. So another Saturn game for the collection there. So you will find that quite a lot of my stuff is here as Saturn, because it's a system I didn't have and I've really come to love. So with that in mind, I also had to go out and get myself a CRT TV, because I wanted this. That's right, I wanted a Virtua Gun with Virtual Cop 2 included. It's great. It's fantastic. There should be some footage up there of my daughter playing it really badly, but to be fair, they didn't grow up with light guns, so it's a bit hard. We had calibrated it, but it can be a bit tough when you're just learning to sort of aim these things. But it's really, really good, and this is the reason they need to make a modern day version of it that works with the modern day buffering of tellies. They have to do it. At some point somebody has to create a proper gun that works properly, that does what the original light guns did. But virtual cop with the gun, it's just amazing. That's really good. One of my sort of favourite sort of well, it's really good. And I didn't play Virtual Cop either. Another thing that I'd ever played. So Virtual Cop, that is my Sega Saturn ones that I love. I'm discovering so much more about the Sega Saturn. I just absolutely love the system. It's fantastic. So this moves on to another system that I didn't have back in the day. I didn't have it because I was a PlayStation man. So this console I used to make a little bit of fun of, and I do apologise. But it's the Xbox. I didn't have back one, an original Xbox. But I've really become quite enamoured by it. There is a huge, gigantic pile of games here that I have collected so far. And we're going to start with, and I saw that Retro48K also chose this one, which is Outrun 2. And it's just really, 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 really good. I'd like Outrun Coast to Coast, but I'm not going to pay 40 quid for it. But it's really good because it just plays so well. Footage should be running in the top corner there. It's just one of those... Well, it's really good, and it's another. Did you know something? I don't know whether the Virtual Cop is the same, but this is another AM2 Sega game. How many Sega games have I chosen so far? Isn't that unbelievable? That the ones I've chosen that I really love are all Sega. Anyway, that's brilliant. That's really, really good. Well, recommend that one. So, Xbox. Moving on, another Xbox games. Now, this one might surprise. If you've played it, you probably aren't surprised, but I really liked it, or I'm getting quite into it, to be honest with you, and that's Terminator 3 Redemption. Why wouldn't you want to be a T-800 badass with, obviously, voiced, I don't think it's by Arnold Schwarzenegger, if it is, that's really cool, badass android, cyborg, sorry, not android because it's not all metal, it's a cyborg because it's half human. Well, it's got human skin and a metal exoskeleton. Anyway, but why wouldn't you want to be a badass robot? You know, that is absolutely fantastic. It really is worth picking up a copy. I don't think it's expensive, and it's just a lot of fun. You get to go around head-butting robots. Can't beat it. Really, honestly, really like it. It was a surprise. I put it on. I don't know why I put it on. I thought I'll give it a go because I'd seen other Terminator games, and I thought I'll put this one on. And this is really good. I don't know why it's Terminator 3 though. Is it Terminator? Was Terminator 3? Was there a Terminator 3? Yes, probably was, wasn't there? Anyway, so Terminator 3 Redemption. I don't think it's got any bearing on the game, the thing itself. So I don't know what choice we're up to now. 8th choice, well, isn't actually an 8th choice, it's the Xbox itself. The fact that I didn't have one, and my lovely friends Andre and Dave Birdsall, they suggested that I get one, that I needed one of these things in life, and they were so right. So I did get one, and in the top corner you got this is running at the moment. Third Strike on here. Do you know something? All this time I have never played Third Strike, which is Street Fighter 3 basically. And I haven't played it, and it's brilliant on the Xbox. Again, not a very expensive game. It's great, and it also includes the original Street Fighter 2. I say the original because the original Street Fighter, but Street Fighter 2. So yeah, I'm totally enamoured. Well worth it. So it's not only a Saturn, a system I've never had. The Xbox is a system I've just got this year as well. Is it this year or just last year? Might have been just last year, but I haven't had it long, and these two systems I've become quite passionate about. I really like them, so that's another good one. What else have we got? Now, the last two items are kind of stuff rather than games, because I like games, but I also like stuff. And they're things that I've discovered recently. So, well, not recently, the last couple of years. Systems I didn't have back in the day. I saw one once of this particular rare item. Well, it's not rare, they're uncommon. Most people don't have one. Is this. It's the PC Engine, which is a Core 2 mine. I can't really afford to collect for it. It's very expensive. Some stuff's cheap, but it's usually in Japanese, and unfortunately I can't read Japanese. And because it's not the American Turbo Graphics, obviously I can't read the language. But look at this thing. This is a thing from, I think it was 1987, I think. I might be wrong. You can correct me in the comments below. But it's 14 by 14 centimeters in size. It is absolutely fantastic. Okay, it only has one joystick port, which is a bit of a shame. Power's on that side, outputs for the TV's on there. This is your connector for your CD-ROM or other peripherals. And mine's been modded so that it can run on RGB. There's some footage running on top of the screen there. And I've obviously got my EverDrive in there, which is the best way to really kind of experience the whole collection of games. It would be a system I would dream about collecting for, but I don't think it's going to happen practically. To be fair, I like the hardware and I like modern solutions, so practically it's not one of those that I would do. But with the release of the PC Engine Mini, which hasn't arrived for most people just due to the current problems with the shipping, we'll say, this has been a godsend to have a little play with. I've actually ordered a Mini, but themselves, they're just so beautiful. I mean, look, seriously, what a beautiful constructed device that is. It really is. And that the card fits in the front here, which is where your what's known as Hue card goes, and it just slides in there in the front. And when you turn it on, it locks into place with that little lever there. Fantastic. Can't say more about that particular device. It's just, they're worth having. I would recommend that any day of the week. I think they look great. Anyway, so that's the PC Engine. And say, these are things I've discovered while collecting, and collecting hardware is also part of my thing, if that makes sense. Now this one, sold as faulty, resurrected, and I put some footage at the top corner of there. That's Titus the Fox, one of the most gloriously beautiful games running on this particular machine. I've got a couple of add-ons on here. I'll talk through them as well. But this is the Amstrad CPC 6128, and it's a glorious machine. It is a fantastic machine. It just is so underrated, and in the UK. Loved in France and Spain, where they've got still a very thriving community for it, but not loved so much in the UK. And the 464, which I've got up there. Oh, I'd pull it down, but it's a bit difficult. It's up there. 464. In fact, there's 3 of them up on the shelf just for overkill. They're just very good machines. They're really good indeed. This one was sold as faulty, and I have replaced the faulty part, which was basically the power switch, and that's all it was. It's quite a common issue actually with Amstrads. They're often sold as a faulty, and it's just because they've sat for so long, the oil sits on the connectors, and when you move it around, the connectors don't work. So yeah, it's sold as faulty. Now I have done some modifications to this, as you can see. One of which is I have put a GoTech drive in the front there, which was as a godsend, which is a floppy disk emulator, and I've got the proper fittings and everything, and the screen shows there. I've also got an additional floppy drive emulator here, which is plugged in at the top and needs powered. It's a lovely little module that I got from Zaxxon, is the name of the gentleman, and I got that from Sell My Retro, the website. But anyway, that's a lovely little additional module that you can basically put in the back. So I've got all the bits and pieces. It's lovely for running something like Pinball Dreams, but it's a fantastic thing, and I totally love it. And that's why I'm saying some of my stuff's discovered new because I didn't have it in the back in the day, and I'm loving discovering new stuff and old hardware that I didn't have. And this is another one of those devices. So this has been all for me, all brand new hardware, all brand new games. I'm kind of collecting for the Saturn, collecting for the Xbox because it's cheap enough to collect for. That's how I kind of manage my collections. It's based on they're cheap enough to collect for. I'm not gonna go nuts with the pricing, so that's why we're on Outrun 2 rather than Outrun Coast to Coast 2006. But yeah, Saturn brand new to me. The Xbox brand new to me. The PC Engine fairly new to me, and obviously the Amstrad CPC. But anyway, yeah, that's my response to the video. Thanks, Dave, for setting the challenge. I've been your host, Real Genetic Demon. Please feel free to like and subscribe. That's one of those directions, one of those tiny ways. There'll be a button down there somewhere. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye bye now.